Welcome, tasty, tenacious Taurus. It is Sachi, and we are here to do some shamanic shifting where we take a look at your current energy, take a look at what your goal is, and then look at how to take your current energy and transmute it into your manifestation goal. Just a couple of announcements. Remember that the top 2 videos with the most likes will get a bonus reading, as well as the first place will have the extended for free. And Taurus, you were just 1 like away from last set in December from getting that bonus reading. So if this resonates, please do remember to hit that like button, and I appreciate all of your support immensely. My second announcement is that my Tarot 101 course is now available in my shop. So if you are interested in learning how to read your own cards, the course covers everything that you need to know in order to start or strengthen your tarot journey. We cover things like how to choose a deck if you don't already have one, how to cleanse a deck, how to connect to a deck, of course, how to read each of the individual cards, but also how to think of tarot in terms of the big picture of the story that tarot tells through the major and minor arcana. And when you are able to sort of think in terms of the numerology and the symbology, it becomes a lot easier. So although we do go through each of the individual cards, you will also learn how to view tarot from a higher perspective and have that sort of zoomed out vantage point of how to do a reading. It also comes with an in-class worksheet that you fill out while you are completing the 2-part course. And that way all of your information is organized in a very meaningful way. So that way, after the course, when you're looking for a piece of information, you know exactly where to go in your notes. It's very intuitively created and a very intuitive layout. And then there is also some tarot journal prompts for you to complete before and after class, and also a certificate of completion for you to sign so that you have official documentation that you have taken Sachi the Scorpio's Tarot 101 course and you officially have learned how to read tarot. So anyway, if that interests you, the link is in the description box below, so check that out. But anyway, Taurus, let's get started. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the World and the 3 of Cups. So this is telling me that you are closing out some pretty big cycles. The World is the last card of the major arcana, indicating that, you know, something has changed because you change. It's like you've changed, you've, finished a cycle, and now the world is different because you are different. And, the World with the 3 of Cups, this definitely kind of gives me, I'm hearing like new year, new me energy, because 3 of Cups is like celebration, merriment. So, the whole world actually has been celebrating and closing out chapters, right? We just finished calendar year 2022, and now we are heading into calendar year 2023, according to the Gregorian system, of course. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling this aspect of sort of celebrating things that have been finished and cycles that have been closing. We have P-Dove using Quick Attack in reverse. So, P-Dove is bird spirit, which represents communication. So with Quick Attack coming out in reverse, it's saying that you're trying not to be quick to attack anything. Red is the color that was calling to me today for you, and I'm even wearing a red sweater. So I definitely am getting a lot of red energy. We also have fire energy, which can mean, when the bull sees red, it charges. And it feels like you're trying not to be in that energy. You're trying not to move too quickly. You're trying not to communicate too quickly about a particular thing. It's like you're being very, very intentional with your energy and how you are communicating with others, as well as within your own mind and things, how you communicate to the universe. Because P-Dove, dove spirit represents purity and peace and things like that. So it seems like you are prioritizing your peace a little bit more and being very intentional with your energy and, most importantly, your communication, which makes sense considering we have Mars still retrograding. I'm recording this on the 3rd of January. We have Mars retrograding in the constellation Taurus, and then we also have Mercury retrograding as well. And both of those transits, right? Mars retrograde is very much about being intentional with one's movement and energy, and Mercury retrograde is about being intentional with your communication, how you speak, so that there is no misinterpretation and things like that. So definitely feels good about that. We have Vulpix using flare. So flare indicates that there is, it's like a flare is what you use when it's kind of an SOS. You know what I mean? And so it feels like someone here is kind of being a little bit of a trickster. Vulpix is a fox spirit, and fox spirit means there can be some deception. There's more than what meets the eye. It's like Loki energy, if that makes sense to you. And so it does seem like someone is putting up a flare, possibly again sort of signaling an SOS of like, hey, I need help, like showing you that their root chakra needs some of your firepower. But again, there is a little bit of deception here, so you want to, you know, be careful of that. But anyway, that's just what came out in the cleansing ceremony. As I mentioned, we are going to take a look at your current energy, take a look at what your goal is, and then look at how to take your current energy and transmute it into your goal. So additionally, if you are a Scorpion or an Eagle member on my website, you can access the articles about the Mars retrograde that is in your constellation and Mercury retrograde on my musings page on my website if that interests you. Alrighty, Taurus, let us see what is going on for you. What's in your current energy here? Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, no doubt about it. You know, that energy is already showing itself in the cleansing ceremony with the world, right? The world represents being at the end of the cycles, and the Wheel of Fortune is the cycles. So the Wheel of Fortune is saying the Wheel of Karma is moving forward. Sometimes it's not always easy, but with the Three of Cups, it does seem like you are in a celebratory mode, or that there are, you know, two other people that are heavily involved with these cycles. The Wheel of Fortune, like, it's the reason why it's the Wheel of Fortune, the reason why there is a fortunate aspect is because karmic cycles are being broken. It's not easy. Sometimes it's not fun, but it's fortunate because we are moving forward, right? If we stay stagnant, if we stay in one place, that means that, you know, we aren't growing. So, you know, the fortunate part is that things are moving forward. But again, I do feel a little bit more celebratory energy around you than a typical Wheel of Fortune. Okay, let's see what's the light energy. Starly, call for pals. So again, we have another bird spirit. So there can be this energy of kind of cutting off friends, or maybe feeling like you can't talk to certain friends or people about certain situations. So I do feel like, you know, part of the karmic cycles that are moving forward are with your relationships, you know, with your friendships specifically. And again, it can be because some of them sort of put up that flare, that SOS of like, oh, help me, but somehow it's deceptive. It's like, oh, help me, I need help right now about, you know, whatever it may be, right? It's like they're just sort of like causing a bunch of chaos and conflict, and then just sort of like dumping it on you or using you in some sort of way is kind of what I'm feeling. But again, Starly is another bird spirit representing communication. So this may, you know, indicate that you're sort of withdrawing. Maybe you're not talking to people, not texting people, not on social media, or whatever it may be. It says they flock around mountains and fields, chasing after bug Pokemon. Their singing is noisy and annoying. Yeah, so it's talking about how others are sort of chasing after bugs, right? So it's like the things that these people, perhaps, you know, who are your friend or acquaintances, whatever, right? It seems like you're intentionally choosing your friendships more. Like maybe in the past it was just who you connected with, you know, just by chance, right? The people that you worked with, or people you grew up with, people who lived next to you. But now you're like, do I really have anything in common? They're chasing after bugs. They're chasing after goals and dreams and things that really bug me, that I'm not really interested in. And their singing, which I take as like their communication, is noisy and annoying. So it's like every time you talk to them, again, it's like noisy and annoying. That's that like SOS flare that I was feeling. So let's see, what's the shadow here? The shadow is dark type in reverse. So this can be an energy of recognizing that people are not aware of their shadow. Maybe you're just done with people who are not willing to do their own shadow work, right? Of like not having that awareness. Alrighty. Let's see here. And I'm also getting this energy because, like, you know, dark energy is in the shadow naturally, right? So when dark energy comes out reverse, it's like inverted shadow. So it may be people like, oh yeah, like I'm totally aware of my shadow because my trauma is this, 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 or something like that. But it's like they are still acting on those loops and not doing anything to sort of change their energy, right? It's like they're still chasing after these bugs. maybe they're even chasing after things that bug them, you know. It's just really not being aware of the shadow. And it feels like because this is coming out in your shadow, that it's like you're done with, you know, that, you know, being in that darkness of kind of feeling alone even when you're with friends. So let's see here. What's your goal? What's your goal, Taurus? Beautiful. You know, I even saw the star in the cleansing ceremony when I was shuffling. I forgot to mention. So star, Knight of Cups, and Chariot, lots of movement. So it seems like with the star, you are trying to get aligned, of course. So star represents alignment. Perhaps you are actually aligning with our solar system. So using something like True Sidereal, connecting to the heavens, looking to the sky for answers, tapping into your birth chart and looking for astrological information. And so, you know, but in general, this is divine alignment. So your goal is to get within divine alignment. And with the Knight of Cups, it seems like movement, right? Knights are known for moving, and it kind of seems like this is you moving on. It could be that you are trying to attract someone who's like the Knight of Cups, which is someone who comes in with some sort of emotional offering. But to me, it kind of feels like, you know, it's like you never really want to attract the Knight of Cups, right? Because Knight of Cups, yes, they come in and their cup may be filled with true love, or, you know, I like you, be my friend. But they're always in and out, right? That's what knights do. They always get out on their horse or their fish and swim off, you know, and come back in and out of town. That's just, right? They're not known for being stationary ever or making any sort of commitment. So with the Knight of Cups here and the Chariot, it's telling me that there is some movement that you want to do. So this may be emotionally moving on. This may be you leaving from people who are emotionally in and out, even if they are honest about their emotions. You know, Knight of Cups, he's willing to share his emotions, even if it's like, hey, I don't really like this. You know, I feel angry and upset, sort of thing, right? And it's like, okay, good. They're very honest and upfront about what's in their cup, but do I want to be around someone who has that in their cup, sort of thing is what I'm feeling. So I definitely feel some movement that you're trying to literally move to somewhere that's more aligned. Some of you may be wanting to physically move, but I feel like it's more so getting away from certain type of connections and possibly be moving like to a place where like people who you have more of a solid connection with are. Let's see, what's the light energy here? All right, both kind of subconscious. We have Makuhita using surprise attack and Digger's Beat using hammer arm. So with Makuhita using surprise attack, it seems like what you're trying to do is move, but sort of have it be a surprise. It's like maybe there's someone that you are kind of afraid to say like goodbye to, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to plan on moving, and then I'll tell them like, okay, hey, bye, sort of thing. Because there is this like surprise attack and it is fighting. So it's like the way that you want to sort of fight this energy and get away is by sort of surprisingly move. It says it was originally brought from another region, but now Makuhita from Alola are more famous. So this is talking about being brought from another region. So again, I do feel like some of you will be physically moving or want to physically move to a different region, whether that's a different region in the city you're in or a different region of the country or world. I definitely feel travel here with Chariot, Knight of Cups, and now Makuhita, which it talks about Alola, which Alola is Hawaiian energy. So there could be some Polynesian, Hawaiian type energy coming in. And it's talking about being more famous. So again, it feels like you're trying to move to a place where you can get a little bit more notoriety for what it is that you want to do. The star can also mean, you know, when you're in divine alignment of things, you can be noticed more, right? When you're within divine alignment, you are noticed for your actions, your soul mission, your work that you do, because it's so aligned. You sort of naturally have this kind of, you know, putting yourself sort of in the spotlight in some ways. And so the star can also represent becoming a star. So especially if any of you are trying to actually become famous for any sort of reason. I'm definitely getting that there. We have Diggersby using hammer arm. So Diggersby talks about digging, you know, getting in deep and things like that. And hammer arm, as you see, Diggersby is like swole. So I feel like some of you are trying to sort of bulk up or get fit or get in shape in some sort of way. It says, with their powerful ears, they can heft boulders a ton or more with ease. They can be a big help at construction sites. So some of you may be wanting to switch jobs or something. Maybe some of you want to get into construction, but I feel like in general, this is just something that you want to build. It's like you are building your resilience so that you can lift heavy things and build the things that you want, whether that's metaphorically or physically. It's talking about hefting boulders a ton or more with ease. So there is this aspect of, you know, having heavy burdens, but being able to sort of move them. And again, for those of you who are physically moving, there may be this energy of like, okay, I have a lot of stuff I need to bring with me. So kind of like figuring out exactly how to navigate that process. Let's see, what's the shadow here? All right. Going right to the Knight of Cups, it feels, is Vulpix using Singe. Yeah. So again, there is this energy of Vulpix, right? I didn't even know that there was 2 Vulpix in this deck, but here we are. So again, there is this sort of trickster spirit, right? Jester spirit, Loki energy with Vulpix here. And it is fire type, which represents the root chakra, which again is like literally where you are rooted. Right. So I do feel like part of this is going to do, I mean, obviously, if you're moving from one place to another, your root chakra is going to be destabilized because you are literally lifting up your roots and transplanting them somewhere else. So there can be this feeling of unease, you know, of feeling unsafe even. And that is part of the moving process quite often. And so with Singe here, it is saying you want to sort of, you know, singe, which is, it's like, you know, usually when you singe something, it's to sort of burn up loose ends is a better way to put it. It's like tying up loose ends, but it's like, you know, if you have like a bunch of things braided together, you sort of singe the end so that it's like compact and doesn't unravel. And that's how it feels, is like you're using your firepower and energy to make sure that things don't unravel during this process, but still sort of uncording yourself, unrooting yourself from where you currently are. It says, if it is attacked by an enemy that is stronger than itself, it feigns injury to fool the enemy and escapes. So again, this is kind of like a surprise attack and kind of foolish. So this can, or not kind of foolish, like being in that foolish energy. And so maybe you are trying to use Vulpix spirit to your advantage, Fox spirit to your advantage, where maybe you need to be a little bit sneaky about moving. Right? Maybe you need to sort of have it be a surprise to people because again, if you were to, it's like you want to make these kind of moves sort of in the shadow, you know, because like, let's say you're telling people like, oh, I'm moving, then, you know, all these people's energy are towards you of like, no, don't move. No, don't do this. Or, oh, I'm jealous that they are mobile sort of thing. And they're all putting their energy on it. So I can see why you're not talking to people about this. So you may be doing something a little bit on the sneakier side. So, you know if you're getting attacked by a quote unquote enemy, right? Someone who's trying to hinder your progress or something, that you can just say like, oh, you know, I'm not feeling well. Like I can't come to, it feels like kind of white lying. It's like, oh, you know, I can't come to dinner tonight. You know, I'm like not feeling well, right? It's like faking injury. But also, if this isn't your energy, it can be that someone else is, you know, that you're trying to sort of cut off ties cleanly, like singeing that thing, by, you know, like people, again, who sort of send out that SOS of like, oh, help, can you come? I'm, you know, maybe they feel you sort of moving away and they're like, oh, no, help me. I'm sick. You need to take care of me. Come over and blah, 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 or whatever the case is, right, Taurus? It feels like you've dealt with someone who has just a list of excuses all the time. And again, that you're trying, that's like part of why you sort of have to have this be a surprise. So let's pull a unicorn for you. Unicorns are timeline jumping spirit guides. They basically help you where you are now, where you're trying to get. They rip space-time so that you can just make a quantum jump. I have a unicorn workshop that my twin flame and I developed, which takes you step by step of how to jump timelines. It also has some worksheets if you are interested in that. So let's just see, before we head into the extended, what the unicorns would like to say. Look for the signs. Pay attention. Expect an answer. And I wanted to come out in reverse. So that's kind of, it's giving me two messages. One, like expecting an answer. You need to know that some people don't deserve an answer. You know, you don't have to give someone an answer. And if this is you of the white lying, you need to sort of step into your spiritual integrity, because getting into alignment, you will never need to white lie. You know, you can literally ignore them. Like, not everything deserves an answer. And I feel like that's something that you really need to hear right now, Taurus. But looking for the signs, pay attention, expect an answer. So if you have questions about what needs to happen, or, you know, what is to come, ask the question out loud and then look for the signs. You know, look at the cloud. There's a unicorn in the cloud. So I would be paying attention to any sort of rainbow rays that you are seeing, any sort of unicorns that you are seeing. Look, we also have a dove, and as you know, P-dove came out earlier. So there is this aspect of going towards peace, going towards harmony. We also have some lilies here, which represent like love and purity and peace as well. And we also have the number 33 with a yin-yang energy. So lots of, right, different synchronicities can come in different ways. We also have like a Pegasus here. So just pay attention to the signs and synchronicities, because it does look like you will be moving. Look, there's even like a post of 4 directions. So you will be mobile, you are moving. And if you're not exactly sure which direction you are going, you are going to want to be, you know, asking those questions and then pay attention to the answers of which direction that you need to go. So let's get an animal totem for you to head into the extended for Taurus, please. We have whale. Live as a fully conscious being. Archangels Mary and Julius. So again, there is this aspect of sort of this heavy energy that you are bringing with you. And I don't feel like it's the heavy energy. I just feel like there's a lot to move, if that makes sense. And so, you know, again, whale is large and in charge. And it represents the highest mammalian mastering of the water realm, right? Whales are mammals and they live in the water. So it represents being able to navigate through various emotional situations. And the advice from whale spirit is to live as a fully conscious being. So when you are living fully consciously, you are making movements within your present moment that are consistently aligned. And that's how you get into this star energy, is by living as a conscious being. And you don't need to be sort of embodying these lower emanations in order to be a fully conscious being in order to do so. So like I said in the extended, what we're going to do is take your current energy and transmute it into your goal. So if you would like to follow me there, the link is in the description box below.